you? So tell me about yourself.
I don't know where to start with. I've been in Ohio my whole life, born and raised, went through from kindergarten to high school in Wellsville, Ohio. I don't know, had a pretty standard life. Do you want me to delve into the addiction part of it? Or, I'm sorry.
Oh, you can. Whatever you feel comfortable telling me is okay with you.
Well, I would say like around 14, I got involved with a guy a little bit older, and it became where I didn't want to be at school or anywhere I was supposed to be. I wanted to be where he was, and that led to my 14 drinking every weekend, sometimes weekdays, just depending. By 17, I had alcohol poisoning, and the claim is that I must quit breathing. I don't know, it's a haze. But from there, like into my 20s, it was going out to drink. There was a point in time where maybe 2 days a week I didn't have a bar I went to. From that, it led to house parties afterwards, and wanting to be able to drink more and stay up more. So that led to other substances, namely cocaine, which progressed into some less than favorable characters and humans to be around. Mainly men. Mainly because I was cute and fun, so I got everything for free by being with that person. As far as the criminal aspect of it, I never really personally delved into that, but I knew people who were doing wrong things, and I accepted it, and I helped cover things for people, and I made phone calls knowing they were ripping someone off for money, possessions, whatever. I mean, a lot of it's a blur because it was the same thing, day after day, always being in areas or hot places I didn't belong. In my 30s, it became that I was using on my own more. Like I didn't need the house party or the whatever. I just wanted someone to bring me my buzz. And from there, progressed into being around older people my age who spent their lives in bars and, peeking out the windows of their kitchen, paranoid all the time. The experience that made me first of all, I got sick of being around a bunch of people who were going nowhere, doing nothing. And at any time, someone could break down the door and put us all in jail. We all were in just doing illegal activities by being where we were. Long story short, CPS became involved. My child was moved away.
Take your time. I'm so sorry.
the spotlight when my mom and dad were on drugs when I was a kid, and I had a really good childhood though. Like, I was very popular. I was a cheerleader. My mom and dad came to every game. It was just a really good childhood until I was like 13 or 14, and they got into a car accident, and my mom got on, like, they both got on like heavy pain pills. They were on Opanas, Oxys, like 3 or 4 different kinds from different doctors. So they started using that stuff, and I witnessed a lot with them. They had drug dealers at our house. Like, this is on. Like, they started selling dope and doing heroin after the pain pills. This wasn't, it was too expensive. So then we lived with the drug dealers and stuff, and I think, I don't remember why. I don't remember who decided that me and my sister had to live with different people, with different grandparents. But at some point, I think I was like 15 and that happened. Like, they decided we would just split apart, and I would go live with one grandma, Dana would go live with the other. And that really sucked for me. I didn't have anybody. My grandma is a whack job. And she kind of just left me alone to do what I wanted to do. And I didn't like that, so I wanted to go home. But I felt like when I went home at first, it wasn't the same. I didn't have that like bond with my parents. They were in the bedroom or the kitchen, and there was a bunch of drug dealers at the house. So I was just kind of in my bedroom by myself. So I felt like I would get high with them. So like my dad would let me like have some of his pain pills. Like, I'd clean the house and he'd give me pain pills. So I would just like do pain pills with them and just kick it with them for a little bit. But then like my dad and my mom stopped getting pain pills, so I just decided to do dope with them. I woke up sick one day, and so what happened? I woke up sick one day, and I refused to go to school. And my mom and dad obviously wanted me at the house, so they gave me some heroin to take to school with me to do on my way there and just get to school. But that's how my addiction started. I've been to prison a bunch of times, so I would get clean, you know, while I was in there, and then come home, and I just go right back to it. In 2021, I met my daughter's dad. That changed a lot for me. I slowed down using drugs. I wasn't out there doing no crimes. I wasn't doing anything that would belittle my body or do anything just to go to jail or something. Like, he really, like, I'm not gonna say he saved my life. He didn't do that. He still got high with me, but he kept me from going to jail and stuff. I don't know. Then I guess I like toward the end of 2021 I got pregnant, or 2020 I got pregnant, and I ended up going to prison for an old charge. And while I was in prison, I had my daughter there, and when I first came home from prison, she was in the NICU. I had her there. She was in the NICU for 4 months. So I came home when she was 4 months old. She got released from the NICU, and I got released from prison. And that wasn't enough for me, and I thought that it was. It was a lot. My daughter's dad got into a lot of trouble. He got locked up. So I'm there by myself with a baby. I've never been sober. I've never been an adult. I've never been a mom. So this is a lot, and it just kind of took me back into using drugs, and I got really bad.
I started using when I was 15, started out with pot and drinking. And for me, like I was like free, I was, you know, cheerleader, popular, whatever, all that stuff. But I wanted to be around people who like me for me, and I felt like they were kind of concerned with labels and things like that. And for me, I was just wanted, so I started hanging out with older people and started smoking crack around 15 too. And then for me, it was like, I was always scared of drugs until I started doing them. And then it was, oh, I want to expand my mind, I want to do this. So I was always in trouble in school, constantly get suspended, expelled. I didn't do my SATs, ACTs, I couldn't care less about school. So I was lucky enough to go to Pennsylvania Culinary in Pittsburgh. I just wanted out of my town because it's a really small town. I wanted away from my, you know, just my family to do my own thing. So I went there, and at that point, you know, I was traveling and going to raves and parties. So it was the ketamine, the DMT, the acid, it was everything. I became a garbage can at that point. And through having the opportunity, I moved to Atlanta. And then when I went to Atlanta, my meth habit kicked in a big way. I started using, at that point it was a daily thing, the meth was. That eventually took over to where I ended up having to move home. I lost everything, had to move home. During my time when I was living there though, I started dating someone who was a lot older than me, and I got pregnant, and I was 21 at the time, I believe. And the last thing I wanted to do was be a mom. I was super selfish, and you know, I wasn't about to have to move home and live with my family, and I regret that now, but at the time I was like, oh, I'll have more kids. That's how my mentality was, which I was super immature. But so that happened, which really screwed me up in a big way. It still does, but it's one of those things that I can't change. So anyway, so where are we at with things? So I moved back to Pittsburgh for a little while, and I got back with the guy who was a lot older than me because he had a lot of money, and I just thought that I could use him, and which I did. He ended up buying a house in Florida, so we moved to Florida. And when I was in Florida, I started taking pills. I think I was 26 at the time, give or take. So I started popping Percocets like they were Tic Tacs, and like I said, he had money, so he funded my habit. It was offensive and disgusting, and so opiates came into the picture at that point, like I said, and I didn't realize the beast I was unleashing in my life. I mean, I had friends that ate pills, but the epidemic of pills weren't a thing at that point. It's when all the pill mills were real big in Florida, which is a thing. So 8 years passed, living in limbo. I was just getting high every day and shopping and not doing anything, basically. So I thought I was in my I was thinking of 32 at the point when I finally moved home. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get clean, I'm gonna start a family, I'm gonna do all the things. And I moved home, and none of that happened. So I started shooting dope at that point. And life just took a horrible turn at that point. I was constantly getting arrested and getting in trouble and getting evicted, and you know, my relationship with my family was troubled at best, I guess. I don't know, my mom's always been super supportive, but she's been really the only one I've had consistently. So yeah, I eventually lost
1.
I am Gabriella McFarland. I'm going to tell you a bit about my mother. My mother was Audrey Lynn Wiley. She passed away whenever she was 39. I was 15. How it affected me in the long run with my childhood and everything, due to her addiction and everything that went on in her life, she ended up treating me the same way, causing me to get a severe depressive disorder, an anxiety disorder. A lot of things happened between me and her. When I ended up finding out that my mom passed away, it kind of broke something inside of me, like my whole world had collapsed. I remember being in Walmart on December 8th, the same day as my teacher's funeral, and getting the call from Uncle TJ telling me that she died. And all I could do was just scream and cry, and I didn't know what else to do with myself. It affected me mentally by, I don't feel like I can trust anybody the way I used to. I don't have that same connection with my dad as I did my mom, so it makes it a lot harder for me to be able to go and open up to him about some stuff like that. I personally think I broke the chain by joining the CCCTC for criminal justice, and because I want to make the world a better place because of people like my mom. And that's all.
Hi, my name is Adriana Kidder, and I broke the chain. Growing up, I didn't have both of my parents all the time. I had both a mother and father that struggled with addiction and a father that struggled with a drinking problem. I had to grow up really fast as a kid. I witnessed a lot, met a lot of bad people, and it really took a toll on me for some time, but I wanted better for myself, and I wanted to do better and make something of myself, and the CCCTC has given that to me in so many ways, and I'm glad I made it to the finish line. I'm in the criminal justice program to further my career in criminal psychology, and I couldn't be prouder, and that's my story.